What existed before the gods, before heaven, before earth, before time itself. The ancient Greeks believed everything began with chaos, not a battle, not a creator, not a burst of light, just something vast, silent, and endless. And once you understand what chaos truly was, you never look at mythology the same way again. Welcome to Legacy of Lore. If you're fascinated by the hidden origins of gods, monsters, and ancient power struggles, make sure you subscribe now, because this is where myths come alive the way they were meant to be told. Before Mount Olympus, before thunderbolts, before Zeus ever spoke a word, there was no sky, no ground beneath it, no stars burning in the distance. The ancient Greeks described the beginning as chaos, but not in the way we use that word today. It wasn't noise. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't destruction. Chaos was a yawning emptiness, a dark, infinite abyss, a silent void stretching beyond imagination. No light pierced it. No wind moved through it. There was no up, no down, no before, no after. Just an endless gap, waiting. Picture black space, not filled with stars, but completely hollow. A subtle mist drifting through nothingness. A sense of depth that has no bottom. That was chaos. It was not evil. It was not alive. It was simply the raw potential of existence. A cosmic blank canvas before the first brushstroke. And then, something changed. From that vast emptiness, the first beings emerged, not created by hands, not formed by design, but simply arising. The Greeks believed that from chaos came Gaia, the earth. Not the planet as we know it, but the very idea of solid ground, stability, foundation. Gaia was the first place to stand, the first surface in a universe that had none. Alongside Gaia came Tartarus, a depth even deeper than chaos, a shadow beneath the earth that did not yet fully exist. Tartarus was the abyss below the foundation, a pit so dark that even darkness seemed to fear it. Then came Eros. And this is important. Eros was not just romantic love. He was the force of attraction, the pull that binds, the energy that draws separate things together. Without Eros, nothing connects, nothing creates. He was the spark that made growth possible, the first stirring of movement within stillness. After that emerged Nyx, night itself, a powerful and mysterious presence. Even the gods who would come later would fear her. And from Nyx came Erebus, darkness. Not just the absence of light, but the heavy, suffocating dark that fills deep caves and forgotten places. These were the first generation. Not kings, not rulers, not warriors. Primordial forces. Concepts made real. Earth. Abyss. Desire. Night. Darkness. They were not yet fighting. They were not yet building. They simply were. And slowly, the universe began to take shape. Gaia, the earth, did something extraordinary. From herself, without a partner, she brought forth Uranus, the sky. He stretched above her, vast and star-filled. He covered her entirely. For the first time, there was structure. Earth below, sky above. A boundary between what holds and what watches. Together, Gaia and Uranus began producing children. And these were not gentle beings. They gave birth to the Titans, massive, powerful entities who would later shape destiny itself. They birthed the Cyclopes, one-eyed giants with incredible strength. And they brought forth the Sentiments, monstrous beings with 100 hands and 50 heads. The universe was no longer empty. It was alive, loud, expanding. But here's where the tension begins. Uranus, the sky, looked upon some of his children, and he feared them. Their power unsettled him. Their size terrified him. Instead of guiding them, instead of embracing them, he rejected them. One by one, he forced them deep into Gaia's body. Trapped within the earth itself. Imagine the pain. Gaia, the foundation of existence, carrying her imprisoned children inside her. Their cries echoing within her. Their strength pressing outward with nowhere to go. The sky had turned cruel. This was the first act of tyranny in Greek mythology. Not by a thunder god. Not by a king of Olympus. But by the sky itself. Gaia could not endure it. The weight, the suffering, the injustice. And so she made a decision that would change everything. From her own substance, she crafted a sickle, sharp and curved. A weapon born from the earth. She called upon her Titan children. She asked them to stand against their father. But they hesitated. Except one. Kronos. The youngest Titan. Quiet. patient, watching. Cronus agreed. And when Uranus descended to cover Gaia once more, Cronus struck. With the sickle forged by his mother, he attacked the sky. He severed Uranus from his power. And in that moment, the rule of the primordial sky ended. This was not just violence. This was the first revolution. The first overthrow. The first time a child rose against a parent to claim control of the cosmos. From the blood of Uranus that fell upon Gaia, new beings emerged, the Furies, spirits of vengeance. From the sea where parts of him fell, another presence would rise, but that is a story for another time. Cronus took his father's place. The Titans rose to dominance. And the universe shifted again. But here's the deeper truth. The Greeks weren't just telling a story about gods. They were describing cycles of power. Chaos to order to control to rebellion. Each generation replacing the last. First came the void, then the forces, then the rulers, then the conflict. And this cycle would repeat again, because Cronus, who overthrew his father, would one day fear his own children. He would try to prevent prophecy. He would attempt to control fate. And in doing so, he would create the very rebellion he feared. But it all began here. Not with lightning. Not with Olympus. Not with Zeus. It began in silence. In emptiness. In chaos. The ancient Greeks understood something powerful. Before structure, there must be space. Before creation, there must be potential. Chaos was not destruction. It was possibility. The dark soil before the seed. The breath before the word. And maybe that's why this myth still resonates today. Because every beginning in our own life starts in uncertainty. In the unknown. In a kind of personal chaos. And from that void, something new can emerge. If this story changed the way you see Greek mythology, comment chaos below so I know you stayed with me until the end. Share this with someone who loves ancient legends. And if you want the next chapter, the rise of Cronus, the prophecy, and the birth of Zeus, make sure you're subscribed to Legacy of Law. Because the Age of Titans is only the beginning.